Okay, so I'll be discussing Chapter 4, Cellular Metabolism. My objective is 4.3, describe how enzymes control metabolic reactions. To start off, enzymes are complex molecules that function to lower the activation energy of cells. Most enzymes are globular proteins, and by doing this, the enzymes are enabling reactions to proceed faster, and because of this, the enzymes are called catalysts. Here's a chart that just depicts the activation energy. The solid purple line is the reaction without the enzyme, and the red dotted line is the reaction with the enzyme. As we can see here, the activation energy is lowered with the enzyme, and that means that it just allows it to happen quicker. There's not as much needed. The chemical reactants to which an enzyme binds are called the enzyme substrates. There may be one or more substances just depending on the particular chemical reaction. In some reactions, a single reactant substrate is broken down into multiple products, but there in others, two substances may come together to create one larger molecule. And each enzyme is specific. They do recognize that specific shape of substrate in which they react. For example, in this picture, you can see that the substrate would be the green figure, and it does bind with the enzyme, and of course, their shapes fit into each other in the active site, and they form the enzyme substrate complex. For example, in an anabolic reaction, small molecules are built up into larger ones, and this process does require energy. As you can see in the picture, you start off with the triangle and the circle, and they bind with the enzyme. That enzyme binds them together, and you end up with a larger product. But in contrast, in catabolism reactions, large molecules are broken down into smaller ones and they release energy. So you start off with the enzyme and the large molecule, and they bind together with the enzyme, and you end up with two small products. Enzymes control the rates of both metabolic and anabolic reactions, but in order for metabolic reactions to happen, energy is needed. Most of the reactions critical to a living cell happen too slowly at normal temperatures to be any use in the cell. So this means that that does require ATP. In cells, enzymes initiate oxidation by lowering activation energy. Oxidation releases energy from glucose, which is then used to power cellular metabolism. Enzymes do this by binding to the reactant molecules and holding them in such a way as to make the chemical bond, whether it's by breaking or forming, as I said before, and these processes are able to take place more easily. Enzymes can be reused because they don't get consumed and the reactions are reversible. And here are my sources.